I think that the point that we would like to drive home the most is that although today is a day where students are gathering and talking about issues of student debt and tuition fees and education funding, that all of these things are connected to other greater societal issues. They're connected to the problems we're having with our economy. They're connected to the questions around the sustainability of our healthcare system. Today is a day about how we want our society to look in the future.
It may look like just another fun campus activity, but the Students' Union at VIU have a bigger message to get out to the masses. As part of the National Day of Action, executives are educating students on the issues of post-secondary education, specifically student debt.
I have lots of student loans. I've been here for quite some time, so it affects me in the fact that we know what the student union is doing is actually working, and they're actually providing something for students that students don't actually know about.
Stickers, buttons, pledge forms that we're sending to
Today's post-secondary students are taking on more education-related debt than any previous generation. For those who have both government and private loans, on average, they are owing over $37,000 upon graduation.
What we're seeing is an entire demographic of people going into the workforce weighed down with a monstrous amount of debt. Students can't afford to buy houses. Students can't afford to participate equally and freely in the economy. We want a strong economy. Well, we need to be able to have a generation that is skilled workers, that's not burdened by debt, and that doesn't have to pay for the cost of education. If they're not privileged enough to pay for it up front.
Our institution used to get more than 80% of its funds from government, and now we're down under 45%. And the difference has been made up out of the pockets of people from Nanaimo. Citizens, families, students are paying more, and they're receiving the same or even less education for that.
Why is it that someone from a different socioeconomic background has to pay twice as much through loans, right? Through the cost of loans. So it's important that post-secondary education is accessible and affordable, and especially for VIU, right? We want to make sure our local community is strong, and it's not. People say it's just it's a personal investment. Students should take on this debt because it's a personal investment. Well, it benefits our society as a whole. We want an educated society, and so that's why it's important to keep post-secondary education public and affordable.
In 2005, VIU's Students' Union worked to instill a 2% cap on tuition fees to ease the cost of post-secondary education. However, for some students who can't afford tuition up front, financial struggle feels greater even after graduation.
Whether you're graduating as a nurse or whether you're graduating as a business student, you don't know where your first paycheck's coming from. And you have only a few months before you have to start paying back your student loan debt with interest.
Majority of students that go to Vancouver Island University, they don't live in town. They come in to go to school, they travel, they commute, or they move here. I moved to Nanaimo to go to school, and my struggle is, am I going to be able to live in Nanaimo a year from now when I graduate? Am I going to be able to continue that lifestyle? Am I going to have to move back home with my parents? Am I going to be a boomerang child? Is that going to happen for me? And a lot of students are afraid of that.
VIU's student body is engaging students as well as the community, bringing awareness to the need of lowering tuition fees, dropping student debt, and increasing education funding. To find out more on the student debt sentence, visit the Canadian Federation of Students website. In Nanaimo for Shaw TV, I'm Jocelyn Matui.